Welcome back everyone, this is Mac with IC Cup TV bringing you another game from the Global Gamers Invitational round of 128. This is the qualifying round. The top 4 players from that qualifying round will move on to a round of 16 for the big bucks and the big fame. This match is between Shmi, the green Terran, and his opponent DKing, the red Terran. So Terran versus Terran on Lost Temple. And before we move on, I just want to thank the sponsors who have made this tournament as exciting and consequential as it is. Mostly iFixit, who's contributed $2,000 to the prize pool. Esports United contributing 3 Intel processors to the prize pool. And the Handsome Nerd, who has been providing t-shirts for lots of the contestants, as well as a lot of other anonymous donors, or not really anonymous, but smaller donors, just providing cash to create an incentive for players to come and compete in this excellent tournament. One of the largest to date. So without further ado, here's the match. We'll check out if anything's interesting going on at this point in time. Looks like we have a very, very early gas from DKing before his barracks even going down. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Reapers or something coming. This SCV is moving forward, so I think we are going to see a proxy barracks from this little SCV of DKing's. And Shmi, meanwhile, he has rallied an SCV to his opponent's base, so he is going to be scouting. Where is this SCV going to build? Still no barracks, so maybe he'll be building a barracks right in his opponent's base. Hard to tell, and an early gas coming up here as well for Shmi, so he will also have the option of going Reapers if he so chooses. And finally, there is the barracks for DKing. So lots of early gas. Maybe another player will be going Reapers. It'll just be teching fast through factories to starports. Very, very typical in Terran versus Terran is to reach for those mech and flying units as quickly as possible. Both players just content to be scouting their opponent's bases and get a look around, and really they're just seeing a mirror of their own base. Both players throwing down a barracks and an orbital command, playing off of one gas. This SCV is going to get roasted by a Marine in a few short seconds, and this SCV is just happy to duke it out with his opponent. Shmi seeing he can't win, so he's just going to scout instead. And that Marine is out. Down goes the SCV. And both players pretty much playing in tandem. Shmi trying to throw in a refinery, but he's going to quickly be killed if he tries that. But 180 hit points, that's better than nothing. The SCV continues to retreat, and the Marine is now out. A factory coming down for DKing. That is that early gas starting to kick in. He can afford that way earlier than his opponent. But when I say way earlier, I do mean like 15 seconds. So Shmi throwing down a factory of his own, so still the same build from both players. Definitely not going to be seeing a tech lab on this barracks, since there is a supply depot blocking the way. And DKing going to try and access his second refinery. Shmi not opting for his own refinery. And DKing is now building on the ruins of that other refinery. Probably found lots of spare parts he can use. A second barracks coming up for DKing, so you might be seeing a siege tank push with Marine support. That's very, very strong on this particular map. If you can get here before your opponent has siege tech, you can definitely make a strong push. Meanwhile, a second barracks is coming down for Shmi, and a starport. So a Hellion coming out of this factory, no tech lab with tanks, but a starport going down for DKing. Here it is. So we could see any number of unit combinations right now. Both players having lots of options, but neither of them has really declared, at least not to us, what their intentions are. And it looks like we're going to get a push from Shmi, a pre-siege tank push with Hellion support. Hellion's very, very strong damage-wise against Marines, so if your Marines soak it up, the Hellions can dish it out. Check that income tab real quick. Both players more or less equal, not much going on there. No siege tanks or anything coming out from DKing, and here comes the push. The Hellion is in, and he's roasting some of DKing's Marines. They turn around, do some nice damage, and here comes the reinforcing Marines of Shmi. The SCVs are off the line to help force them back. An excellent micro from that Hellion. Tons of damage to King's SCVs. Nice Hellion micro against a Terran player. Very, very nice. But unfortunately, the SCVs not quite. Looks like this attack was successful. DKing is now reeling. Almost all of his SCVs are dead, and no units on the ground. This tech lab is building, but it is gone down, so no Banshees coming out. Marauder, Marine, and a siege tank, but Shmi looking really good right now. Done tons of damage. Gets that Hellion finally microing as best he can to try and keep alive. He needs units standing. And reinforcing Marauder coming in from Shmi, more infantry streaming across the map. Very, very nice early infantry pressure. And now inside the SCVs, Siege Tank popping, it's going to go down pretty fast. The SCVs trying their best to push this back, but I can't believe this. I think Shmi has been successful. I think he has successfully rushed. Marine and Marauder rushed in a Terran versus Terran game. His opponent just not prepared for this. That Hellion made all the difference, and Shmi is going to clean up. He's going to finish off all these SCVs, and he is going to win this match. So, no doubt, Shmi is the winner of this game. He is moving on to the round of 64. Excellent rush. I'm just so impressed, so surprised that actually worked. Great play there. So keep following this tournament, guys. Check out the thread on teamliquid.net. That's where you can follow any goings-on in StarCraft 2 esports community. But also keep tuning in to IC Cup TV. We'll be broadcasting lots of the matches from this Global Gamers Invitational Tournament. And do check out the sponsors, iFixit, Esports United, and the Handsome Nerd, who are making this tournament consequential and exciting. The more money on the line, the harder players play, and the bigger names show up. So thanks for tuning in, and until next time, have a good one.